Welcome everyone to another episode of Follow the Light Music Review. My name is John DeLaurentis, and this is episode 11 in my album reviews series. So today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new 77s album, Seven, which was funded through a Kickstarter, which started back in October of 2024. And I had just received the product this year. So it was a long wait for it, but it's worth the wait, as you will see in my review. Here in New Jersey, as I'm recording this, we just were hit with a snowstorm here. So I've been out shoveling snow for a good portion of the morning. So getting cozy inside the house. Hopefully everyone is getting prepared for the holidays and cozy up and watch this new episode on the channel. So before I get started, I would really appreciate you supporting my channel by subscribing and also liking the video and commenting and give your feedback on what you think of this new 77s album. All right, so let's get started. So the 77s are one of the pioneering alternative rock bands in the Christian music world, no doubt. They debuted with their first album, Ping Pong Across the Abyss, in 1982 and proved to be a thinking man's band. The 77s discussed topics across the human spectrum that showed the whole experience of life on the earth, all anchored within a Christian framework, but avoiding the Christianese of a lot of Christian music of the time. Here was a band with a direct link back to lyrically creative musings like King David penned in the Psalms. They would go on to release more critically acclaimed albums such as 1984's All Fall Down, 1987's self-titled album that received distribution also on the mainstream label Island, the same label that released U2's albums, and 1990's Sticks and Stones, which was a collection of previously recorded but unreleased songs that works together as a fine collection of solid tunes. That's like one of my favorite 77s albums, along with probably All Fall Down. So sometime in the future, I'm going to do a catalog ranking of the 77s. They have a wide catalog, but I'm going to be doing that sometime in the future. So now, over 40 years later, the band is still going strong with this 2025 release of their newest album, Seven, which was funded through a Kickstarter campaign that began in October 2024, as I mentioned. Though the wait was long, the album on CD and vinyl has finally arrived. So what does this new album add to the alternative classic rock legacy of this groundbreaking and influential band? Let's take a look and let's talk about it. All right, so considering the band has had so much classic music across their catalog, what new inventions musically on this new release have they brought to the table? The band lineup here is the classic lineup now of the three members: Michael Rowe on vocals and guitar, Bruce Spencer on drums, and Mark Harmon on bass guitar. So before we get into the songs and my review of them, I wanted to show you the CD version here. And this is in what they call a digi wallet, okay, because it does not have this spindle in here to put the CD in. So the CD inside this side, and then it comes with a booklet inside with some pictures of the songs and some studio stuff. And lyrics here, more lyrics, and then lyrics like this. Okay, and there's a reason why this is like this, which I'll talk about, but that's what the CD looks like. They also came out with a vinyl version. Okay, this is the vinyl version. Gatefold, opens up, as you can see here. The back cover. Okay, and then it comes, this one is this variant that I got is a really cool black and white version. Look at that. Really cool. And it does come with a lyric sheet. So you get the lyrics here. And some pictures also. Kind of what you saw in the CD booklet are there as well. And an add-on that I got was the 45 RPM single. And this has a song on it called Uncle Gene, which does not appear in the CD or the vinyl version. It's here, on here. Comes with its own little sleeve in here too. And then a song called Wheedlers, which is on the vinyl version. Or actually, is it on the vinyl version? The vinyl version cut some songs off, so Wheedlers is not on the vinyl version. The vinyl version cut 3 songs off. I'm not quite sure why there's 3 songs that were cut off of the vinyl. It seems like the second side could have fit at least one more song, but there's 3 songs that were cut off from what the CD has. But this is the 45 RPM version here. As I drop it on the ground here, put it over here. All right, so let's talk about the songs on here. I'm going to go over all the songs that are on the CD, and then I'm going to go over the one song that's on the 45 RPM. And those who got the vinyl, they did give them downloads for those 3 songs that are missing off of the vinyl version, and they also gave a download for the Uncle Gene song that's on the 45 RPM, which I'm glad they did, because that particular song has 2 clicking noises at the very beginning of it on my vinyl. So I'm glad to have a digitally a clean version of it. So let's talk about the songs on this album. So the album opens up with Out of the Clouds. And this 10-song album, there's 10 songs altogether on the CD. It opens the album with this classic Rolling Stones-styled rocker that pulls the listener in to a grooving rocker that soon segues into an instantly memorable chorus with the band singing, "I said too much, take it back, and I'm giving up. I wanted you to come round to pull your head down out of the clouds." All right, so the band show that they have lost none of their luster for writing great music, their first new music since 2002's 6-song EP, Direct, which is probably the only 77s CD I don't have. That's out of print and very hard to find on CD. It is available on their Bandcamp page digitally, but the CD is sold out, and that's the one I have not been able to get a copy of. It's very, very hard to find a copy for sale of that one. So maybe one day I'll come across it. But that was their last album of new music, and it was only an EP. I think there were 6 songs on there. So that's the last new music I had. So that's quite a long period of time, 2002 to 2025 or 2024, obviously, when they were recording these things. So that's a long span of time. But the fans wanted new music and had been asking, and now we have it. So it's great. So the next song after this is a song called Saddle Up. This song opens up with this great guitar hook that may just take you to the point where you want to get up and dance. It kind of has that kind of a groove to it. There's some great bass accents here that anchor behind Rose's passionate vocal as he sings before the chorus kicks in with this kind of rubber band guitar sound. The bridge that starts with the line, "If it's not what you had in mind," takes the band into these vocal harmonies that would not sound out of place, believe it or not, on a Grateful Dead album. As soon as I heard those harmonies, I felt, this sounds like the Grateful Dead. And I'm not a big fan of Grateful Dead. You're either like a sold out fan to them or not a band I very much cared for and still don't care for that much. I think there's like one album in their discography that I like. It's called Terrapin Station. Everything else I'm just not a fan of. But they do sound like the Grateful Dead here in that section of the song with the harmonies there. The song shows and warns of the dangers of wanderlust gone wrong. As Rose sings, "You will know when you get there. No one complains till the moment they feel the pain. You'll wish you had learned how to walk away when you get there." All right, so a very creative way to talk about that wanderlust, that desire to do things that are not necessarily the best things for us, and they lead us into this painful situation, and we wish that, why did I do that? Why didn't I walk away before I made that decision to do something that was not beneficial for me? All right, so really great song. The next song after this is called Heart back. And this song is a more slower, groove-laden, mid-tempo rocker that utilizes some beautiful Beach Boys type harmonies as the song pleads to get the heart back of one who has let the flame of love fizzle out. Featuring some nice layered guitars, anchored by a solid bass and drum rhythm section. Some of the notable lyrics here are, "And if faith is all it takes to change your mind, then I'll know that I'll have to pray. You'll return to me in the light." All right, so some nice guitar lead fills feature in the song's closing section of it. So another great song on the album. Next song is called Shiloh. This is a slow, brooding, and melancholy song that oozes with emotion as Roe sings with conviction. Some of the best written lyrics on the record, I think. He sings, "There's a part of heaven that is open and waiting. If the road you've taken leads away from your heart, go back to the map. You'll know how to find it." All right, very creative way to write lyrics about this subject matter. And this, I believe, is one of the album's highlights as the band channel into this musical structure that chases almost like a Tom Petty style mix with some bit of bluesy guitar here, soloing with the bluesy guitar that is slow and purposeful in wrenching out the song's bittersweet reflections of this person who is claimed in the song to have a beautiful soul. All right, so there's some bass walking that adds to the backdrop of the song's ending lyrical guitar playing. So another really strong track on this album. This is followed by a song called Hand to God, starting with Rose saying, "Let's do it," and counting to begin the song. This tune has that jangly guitar opening before it moves into a fast rhythmic pace that moves the song along into a pleasing mesh of soundscapes as Rose sings of the importance of privacy and trust in relationships. He sings here, "Your story I won't sell. Cast your coin in me. I'll be your wishing well." Showing that Roe continues to be one of the best lyricists in Christian rock as he elegantly paints a portrait of faithfulness here. When we think of the world that we live in with social media and people splattering information about other people and breaking trust and breaking loyalty and causing betrayal, by splattering these things all over the internet and everything. This is a song saying trust, is so important. And you can trust me, cast your coin in me, I'll be your wishing well. So really, really another strong song here. This is followed by a song called Silence. This opens with some pounding drums. The song sounds like the classic rock sound of the band's early days. It is everything you love about the 77s guitar melodies that pull you in to their foray with their drenched melodies, while Roe sings with guts and heartfelt feeling, and the bass and the drums, they perfectly add the spice of rhythmic syncopation here. This is a track that could become one of those classic 77s tracks that you're going to look back on in 20 years and say, that song is a killer track. The song's topic is about a spiritual retreat of the soul that brings clarity in the midst of a silence, name of the song, Silence, that shuts out all the distractions. So he sings here, "And if you want to know who you will be when you pray to redeem, if your old cold soul had never seen just a glimpse inside it." All right, it's clear Roe's lyrics, which have always been thought-provoking, have taken on a new depth in the maturation of his years in the music world. Next song is called Be Still. The song opens with an almost children's lullaby sound to it with some nice piano accents that, against this soft strum guitar before a solid bass line provides a birth of groove. The song reminds of an early era, maybe Rolling Stones motif of melody and magic as the song encourages to, again, slow down and focus from the left, right distractions of life where we forget to stop and be still in the midst of a world that can stream their own made-up reality. And I love these lyrics here. "No one relies on proof to realize when all their dreams are streamed at prime time." All right, once again, Roe proving himself a master lyricist here. Next song is called Forbidden Fruit. And I just got to or notate here that Be Still is the last track, as you can see here on the vinyl version. So these next 3 tracks are the ones that are not on the vinyl version. These are only on the CD version. And one of these songs, it's too bad they didn't squeeze it onto the vinyl. It's a song that's called Forbidden Fruit. And this is one of my favorite songs on the album. The album opens with some acoustic instrumentation that features this haunting melody that adds in elements of bluesy guitar fills. Rowe layers in some layered vocals in the song, and it's a slow motion sizzle of a fire that is down to the embers, but still emanates through enough light to see. The song deals with the forbidden fruit of desire and its pull on the elemental instincts of humans. As the lyrics state, more great lyrics here, I was looking for the fruit of my passion, wandering around in a garden of love, taught to feel that I was forbidden to taste the fruit just for fun. We all love the fun, all right? So really kind of dialing into that primal instinct that we have to, taste that forbidden fruit. Someone says that's the one thing you can't eat, and then that's what we have a desire for. So it ends here, but now I know she's walking out in a minute, showing how the fleeting desire to taste of the forbidden fruit ends in momentary satisfaction that ends in brokenness. Okay, so things get broken down. So, in this context here, she's walking out in a minute. I took it in a couple ways. Either this was the person that he had this fleeting moment with, and it was nothing lasting, and they walked out, or maybe it was a cheating situation, and the person that they were with and committed to walked out. All right. I think it's open for interpretation here, but again, tasting the forbidden fruit leads to tragic ends. Then there's a song called Wheedlers, and this is a track that's a B-side on the 45 RPM single, if you got that in the Kickstarter. As is, the band decided, I think, after all this kind of serious and deep lyrics, that a more lighthearted, bouncing musical foray was needed. The song chugs along like a 1950s rock and roll romp that makes the listener have visions of sock hop dances and soda pop. That's the kind of musical vibe I feel is in that song. But no fear, even when the tempo makes you want to get up and dance, the band delivered more creative lyrics. They sang, "On my mind, Jesus, it's personal, and I confess, I pulled the trigger, and I like it. But now I see that there's nothing left. There's a wasted sinner shot dead. I know you're merciful. I got nothing left but my hide." What a creative way to talk about like killing the old, the sin nature. I mean, remember years ago, Petra wrote that song, "Killing My Old Man," about this same topic here. But just fantastic lyrics. And again, that was the song that they put as the B-side on the 45 RPM single, the A-side being Uncle Gene. All right, and then the album, the CD here, rather, ends with Sonata. So after this heady trip down a lyrical and musical journey that has enriched the soul, what is needed is an instrumental, right? Well, it's exactly what Sonata is. It delivers kind of as a theme to an imaginary Western film with visions of walking through the desert toward the oasis ahead. The song serves as a nice capstone to a fine album. The band show themselves to be the consummate musicians they are after all these years, crafting some of the best songs in Christian rock music. All right, the song washes over the listener like a warm bath, bringing relief to the weary traveler. So it's a really nice way to end the album. So again, the vinyl version does not have those last 3 tracks on it. So you will get the, if you were in part of the Kickstarter, you get the digital files of that. They also gave a version of the entire album as a download in instrumental form as well for Kickstarter. So some interesting things. You got a lot. We had to wait a while for this one, over a year, but it was worth the wait. All right, and so let's talk a little bit about the song Uncle Gene, which is on the 45 RPM record and is not on the CD or the vinyl. So it opens with Rowe saying, "There's too many snares." And then the song goes into another 1950s style rockabilly song. The song features a great bass line as the guitars and drums keep the rhythm rollicking and fun. It's another one of those songs that sounds like you'd hear at a teenage dance event back in the day. It sounds very live in its execution, and it is a nice curio added to all the other great new songs we have been given by this iconic band. And like I said, it is available if you were a part of the Kickstarter as a digital file, which I'm glad, like I said, my version, has a couple clicks in the very beginning of it on the vinyl, which it was unfortunate it's on that side and not on the second side, Wheedlers, which wouldn't have bothered me so much because that song is on the CD already. But again, they've given you the digital file. So again, if you're not part of this Kickstarter, I am sure that it's going to be available in vinyl and CD at some point to the general public. And the 77s, I believe here have delivered another fine album that is definitely one of the highlight albums of this year, 2025. And so I'll be doing a best of 2025 albums for me toward the end of the year. And I'll be coming up on my 1-year anniversary on the channel. 12/31/2024 was when the channel began with my first video, and now I am over 50 videos now and growing the channel. I hope you're enjoying the content. I've been adding interviews and content, usually at least one video I try to get up at least once a week. So make sure you subscribe and you ring the bell to get the notifications here. So in the end, what is my rating for this album? I give this one a solid 4 stars out of 5. The new 77s album. So glad to have new music from this band after so long, and with such a great catalog of music. It's amazing all these years later, still writing strong songs, and it's just a very enjoyable album. So again, if you were not a part of the Kickstarter campaign, I'm sure it's going to be available again. And I would say once it's available, make sure you pick up your copy of it. But you might want the CD version. If you're a vinyl person, I'm glad I got a package with it, with the vinyl and the CD, and an add-on with the 45 RPM single, because I thought that would be cool to have as well. But if you want all the songs, you're going to need to get the CD version, because like I said, that song Forbidden Fruit, which is one of the songs left off on the vinyl, is I think one of the finest songs on the album for me. So you might want to get CD and vinyl. If you're a vinyl person, get the CD too, so you get those other tracks. So, all right. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'd love to hear what you think about that. If you got the new 77s album, what do you think about it? Put your comments, below. And, I'm going to continue to be enjoying this album. And again, look for the best of 2025 albums rankings that I'll do at the end of the year. Still listening to some stuff that came out in 2025. We've had quite a number of really strong releases come out this year. So in different genres of music. So it's an interesting year for great Christian music. All right, so I'm going to close out, as always, encouraging you to follow the light which shines out of the darkness. God bless everyone.